All right, welcome to My Brother Said, the show where we break down a conspiracy theory at a time while we play Fortnite. This is My Brother Said, the first episode. So, I am your host, Joel McClure, and this is my brother, Ben. Today, we're going to be breaking down the conspiracy theory of the Phantom Dark Ages.
Ooh.
And this is a conspiracy theory that basically states that the Dark Ages never happened. So, in order to give you some backstory to the Phantom Dark Ages in the time we have while we play the Fortnite game. All right, so the Dark Ages, as you may or may not know, is a term for the early Middle Ages, and this occurred in the 5th to 10th centuries, or occasionally the entire Middle Ages is referred to as the 5th to 15th centuries in Western Europe after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, which is the second half of the empire that we know as Rome, which characterizes it as marked by economic, intellectual, and cultural decline. So, what the Phantom Dark Ages is an idea that was created, or the phantom time hypothesis, as some people call it. It was created by a German philosopher and publisher named Herbert the Third. He's a German, and Herbert Illig. I can't fucking read his name. It's German. So
German. All right. They are difficult to read. Jump when you're ready.
All right. Definite. Why
it
is
is
my controller not responding? Okay, there we go.
Whoa, that was trippy.
So according to the phantom time hypothesis, the year 1614 to 911 AD never happened. They were allegedly fabricated by Pope Sylvester II, and he was the Holy Roman Emperor Otto, and the Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, who was the German Emperor. So they give the reigns of the religious significance, while historians should be skeptical of this idea. It is kind of titillizing. So,
bro, get away from me. Bro, get away from me.
Some of the characteristics that proponents of this theory point to are the architecture in Germany being stagnant for the amount of time that the Roman Church basically says never happened.
That's crazy.
So, what do you think about this conspiracy theory? Do you think it bears any weight? Also, keep in mind that the Chinese log of time, or the timeline of, what we know in China, their architecture does seem to change during this same 200 to 300 years. So, what do you think the benefits of faking a timeline would be? Like, so instead of instead of 2020, we're really in the year 1900 or something.
I don't see any pull on this. I think that whoever thought this through did not think very hard.
So you don't think it's a valid conspiracy theory?
I don't. I mean, we're saying it's conspiracy. Then yeah, it's definitely a conspiracy. But
I'm saying, what validity do you think it has? How much weight do you think it has?
Not very much.
Obviously,
no.
we're playing Fortnite. I can't show you photos to show you okay. So the other thing is, think about this. Okay, the church had total control at the time. The Catholic Church had total control, and think about this: the only people who read English, right, were kind of like barbarians to the church. That's why all the masses were held in Latin. It wasn't the King's English yet. That doesn't happen until, King James. So the Pope, who's in line with the Germans, now remember, the English monarchy is really the German monarchy, because the English are actually Germans. The Queen and stuff, she was a German. So to basically create years and years of a timeline which never happened, you know what I mean? It would basically create power years and years of power that never happened. And people wouldn't really know what date it was because the church changed the date several times.
Well,
For
why
instance,
would they want to change it though? Like, what would they
they
gain
changed the
from
date
that?
they changed the date several times because owning time is owning power, right? So if you can create 300 years
Okay,
that never
Benjamin
happened,
Franklin.
if you can create 300 years that never happened, you can basically establish yourself as greater than you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, he
Sure.
who controls time controls the world. So,
Okay.
also, what if time isn't what we're told, and
Right.
the Catholic Church did mess with time, right? It would also establish them as being around a lot longer than they actually were. Meaning that the Catholic Church was created later,
Okay.
not by St. Peter. And that would be a most dangerous secret for them. They wouldn't like that if that got out.
Well, especially when you think
So
about
here's some
like,
more ideas. Yeah, like just some more ideas for the concept. Like, not saying it is kind of fantasy. It's definitely kind of like a goofier conspiracy theory, but it's an interesting one, and it definitely
It's
makes you think.
interesting.
And again, think about it. Nobody was reading, like, you read Latin. Nobody was reading the Latin, so like nobody knew what time it was. Did you know that, like, for instance, the date April Fools, right? They changed the date from the the Julian calendar to the Benedictine calendar, right? So as they changed the date from the Julian calendar to the Benedictine calendar, not everybody knew because nobody read the Latin. So right up until like the 1500s, people were still celebrating the New Year in April. Do you know why
What?
tax day is April 15th? Because April 15th was actually the day we had New Year's. So April 1st is the day we had New Year's. So April Fool's Day was called April Fool's Day by the church. They were poking fun at people, those idiot peasants who had not switched over yet to the new calendar. Like, look at these fools. They don't even know that it's not New Year's. New Year's already happened. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, I follow.
He who controls time controls the world. So here's another concept for like why this I don't know, maybe why it might make a little bit more sense, the theory. It is a little out there. Like good scholars kind of balk at it, that's for sure. It's not the most sound of the origins, the phantom time theory. It's not the most sound, of the theories. And I'm pretty sure it was created it was created later. It was created in 1996 in a book by the author, this German author, the philosopher. So, it's a newer theory.
Right.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much, I think that's the wrap on the Phantom Dark Ages. Do you have any questions on, I can give you more history, but do you have any questions on the hypothesis or anything?
I honestly think that you covered the majority of it. I just think it's out there. Like, it's not that it's like landish or like, impossible. It's a little out there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the weirder ones.
Yeah,
It's
for
not,
sure.
for like, I didn't want to actually start with anything super sound for the first thing. In later episodes, we'll cover stuff that's definitely more plausible. In fact,
Oh, yeah.
maybe we'll go next with something a little more concrete, and we'll see. But I want to vary this up from episode to episode so that you don't really know what's coming. So we'll see. I've definitely got some weird stuff in the bank, though. Some stuff that's going to blow your mind.
Oh, I hope so. I hope
All right,
so.
well, I think that wraps it up for the first episode. It has been great starting this. Do you have any closing words or remarks, Ben?
No, be sure to, if you enjoyed the episode or the gameplay, be sure to follow on the channel. Other than that, I think we're all good.